so the film's finally done. It was a little weird at first. I didn't quite know what to do with myself, but then I've been keeping myself busy with all of the festival applications and press kits and postcards, dubs, film prints, DVD screeners, mailers, posters, podcasts, website updates, trailers, flyers. You see, I'm now in the phase called follow through, or what the kids call pimpin' it. The kids still call it that, right? No? It's kind of like swinging a golf club. If you've got a great backswing, but you don't put any energy into the follow-through, your shots are going to be inconsistent. So, since in my case the backswing took almost 5 years, I don't want to leave anything to chance. And this is where it gets tough for shorts, especially in the US where there's not much of a market for them. The two choices are really just either festivals or online distribution. Now, my 2 cents is that you should try to run the festival circuit first because you can always release online later. But there's a ton of different opinions on this, and it's going to be a different case for everyone depending on your movie. The first thing you'll run into if you do go the festival route is that it does cost a decent bit of money. Entry fees are usually about $40 a piece, plus you'll want to travel to at least one or two of the festivals. You'll also have to get your movie put out to either film or video. Now, there's some festivals that are accepting HD cams, but a lot of them, even some major ones, will still only accept D-Beta or DV cams, which are standard def formats. So I decided to go ahead and get the movie put out to 35mm film because that will play pretty much everywhere, especially Europe, where I would have to get it converted to PAL if I were going to send them a tape. Now, don't get me wrong, you don't have to go out to film. It's expensive, it's a pain to ship, but there are a few other little hidden benefits if you do. First off, most festivals aren't held in state-of-the-art digital theaters, so they'll rent a projector that looks good, but the rental projectors never look quite as nice as the film projectors that are sitting right next to it. Also, 95% of the festivals out there screen both film and video, but it's kind of a pain to switch back and forth between the two. So in a shorts program, what they'll usually do is screen the movies that are on video first, and then the 35mm shorts last. Now, the sweet spot that everyone wants is to be the last film to go, because that's the one that people are going to be talking about when they leave the theater. So if your movie is on 35mm, you've got a better chance of going at the end. Now, sometimes that'll backfire, sometimes they might even screen the 35mm shorts first, but it's one way that you can stack the deck in your favor. Another big part of the festival route is finding the right festivals to apply to. A lot of people like to use Without a Box, which is really cool because you can fill out one application and send it to a ton of different festivals. The only downside is that a lot of the ones outside the US, and even some of the larger festivals in the US, don't use Without a Box, so you don't want to use that as your only way of finding out about festivals. One thing that helped me out a lot was visiting websites of films that are kind of similar to mine and seeing where they played. I found out about a lot of cool fests that way that I wouldn't have found out about otherwise because most of my friends are live action guys and they're not as plugged into the animation community. And of course, the hardest part about taking the festival route is that it's very anticlimactic. You spend so much time and energy getting the film finished that it's really hard to sit on your hands for 3 or 4 months while you're waiting to see if you get into any festivals. So this is where a lot of films sort of lose their steam because the people behind it either get distracted or they lose faith in the project. So it's really important to keep your energy up and keep doing everything you can to push the movie out there. And if you do find that you have any free time at all before the festivals start, don't forget that a little shameless marketing never hurts. Well, that's it for this episode. I've added some cool festival-related links to the blog, and I've got a lot more podcasts planned, so I'll see you next week.